Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Redlands. My name is Joe. I'll be leading you on this guided meditation this morning. Let me invite you to just close your outer eyes as we take a nice deep inhalation through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. As we repeat this process, deep inhalation through the nose. You want to hold it about 4 seconds. Release, exhale out the mouth. Allowing your breathing to grow deeper and deeper, and your body to relax with each inhalation and every exhalation. As we visualize seeing ourselves from above, as spirit drops down through the top of our head, as a radiant, bright light easing all of our tension from the top of our head beginning down to our jaw. Feel all that tension, strain, pain, any aches. See it, know it as you exhale and expel all of it from your body. Keep your attention on your breathing. And just see that tension being pulled from your body with every out breath. With every inhalation, you take in all that is good. All that is needed. We restore ourselves and center in oneness with Spirit. This universal mind, this intelligence that pervades all space, permeates all substance, and exists in every point in space, in time, at the same time, all the time. As we unify and align ourselves with this intelligence, with this power, this presence, that is omnipotent, omnipresent, and omniscient. As we stay focused on our breathing, and feel that tension continue to melt away as it drops down to our neck, our shoulders. Just feel all that tension being pulled from your body. Your muscles relax as your breathing grows deeper. Aligning ourselves and knowing our Christ light within. That tension drops down to the chest, drops down to the legs, to the feet, and down and out the body. We experience our wholeness and completeness. So we keep our attention on our breathing. Allow any distracting thoughts, noises. Do not resist them. Just acknowledge, let them pass, and return your attention to your breathing. Let us breathe. Be still and know. want you to see yourself standing in a long, dark hallway. Up ahead is a door. It is white. It is bright and it is illuminated. It is pulsating. It is pulsating bright light. You walk towards it. Closer. Closer. You feel its warmth emanating. You feel it surround you, and until you're standing in front of it. You reach down, you open that door. On the other side of it is space. All you see is the universe before you, vast, infinite. Pulsating stars. And you step through the door. And when you step and you reach the other side, you see your body start to break down and dissolve into wobbly, white, glowing particles, dispersing, moving and flowing. Becoming one with this universe, this space, this infinity that you now unify with and move and have your being in as stardust. See yourself now moving at speeds never imagined. That you're shooting across this universe, past exoplanets, galaxies. You see the beauty, the order of it all. Bright stars that explode into supernovas of brightness as you move through it, one with it. You are one with this intelligence, existing now in every point in space and time. At the subatomic level. Moving through the vast expanses of this universe. Up ahead you see the glowing door. Moving towards it, closer, closer you come. Now standing at this door, assembled back into the body, the physical body. You step back through the door. Through the hallway. Back into this place, this physical space, this sanctuary. Let me invite you to open your eyes if you're ready. You can wiggle your toes, your fingers. So we take one more deep inhalation. And exhale. This concludes our meditation. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Quite a trip through the cosmos. To the stars and back to this very room. We come together. We come together. We come together in the name of love. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, God loves you and I love you too. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice, repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together in the name of love. We come together. We come together. We come together in the name of love. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice, repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together in the name of love. We come together. We come together. We come together in the name of love. From every walk of life, every creed and color, in kinship we unite, in honor of the love in each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, Namaste, I bow to you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice, repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together in the name of love. We come together. We come together. We come together in the name of love. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let's be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, 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 hey. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Hey, let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, 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 yeah. I'm in the right place at the right time, just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time, just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. 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 My soul is welcome. Oh, my soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. I am getting a message loud and clear. Getting a message loud and clear. Getting a message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. So is yours. And so is yours. And so is yours.
Ladies and gentlemen, Al Yankee. It's our welcome medley. Do you feel welcome? All right, that's it. That's the whole idea of all this. Welcome. Good morning, everybody. My name's Brother Mark. I'm one of the licensed practitioners here at CSL Redlands, and it's a joy and honor to thank everyone for joining us, not only on Facebook Live and YouTube, but here in the beautiful sanctuary. So CSL Redlands is a New Thought community living an ancient wisdom. Where am I? It's an ancient wisdom philosophy based on the science of mind. The science of mind philosophy was developed in the early 20th century by writer and lecturer, Reverend Dr. Ernest Holmes. Dr. Holmes studied truths from all the world's religious traditions and spiritual paths and developed a fresh new way for us to look at ourselves and how we fit into our world. CSL Redlands is an open and inclusive community honoring people from every background, all races, sexual orientations, gender expressions, and spiritual paths. No matter who you are or where you are on your journey of faith, you are always welcome here. Our purpose is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence, and our vision is a world that works for everyone. If you're here for the very first time, would you please raise your hand and let us properly greet you? Any first timers? All righty, welcome. Is there any incognito? Oh, that lady. We know that you have a choice for your spiritual community, and again, we're delighted to have you with us to visit today. A general reminder to please silence your cell phones and place them safely away so you may participate more fully in today's program and service. So I'm not sure if there were announcements on the formal program, but you do have on your tables the flyers. Oh, you want me to do them? Okay, I see them. You're invited to join Joe Nelson in the practitioner room Sunday mornings at 9:15 a.m. This is our pray-in time. We pray for our center, congregation, friends, and spiritual director. All are welcome. Reminder, there's a special congregational meeting for members. It'll be held Saturday, November 13th. This meeting can be attended in person, or you could join via Zoom. And so please see, there should be an insert in the program, or we can make sure and get you that link. That's a very important meeting for members. Then one of your flyers is about the spiritual flute of white feather, and that concert is canceled. And we don't ask why. We move forward. The Metaphysical Artisan Fair and Shopping Bazaar, a community event for entertainment purposes only, is Saturday, November 5th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. So come out and have fun, and you can help to raise funds for our beloved center. CSL Redlands presents the Clapping Monkeys, and that's on Saturday, November 19 from 3 to 5 p.m. Come and enjoy an afternoon of kirtan chants and mantra music for mind, body, and spirit. And the tickets for that are $27. And then I see a special orange flyer for the Halloween Spooktacular. Everyone go, ooh. So that's Friday night, October 28th. The Redlands Center for Spiritual Living will present this Halloween Spooktacular. And it's a film, it sounds like a Phil Courtney thing, is that right? Yes. It sounds like one. All right, so I think we're complete, except for to say if, there's Wake Up and Meditate every day with Sonja Prince, 8:30 to 8:45 a.m. And if you want to still donate a meal to the women's shelter, please let us know. Amazon Smile, make sure as the holidays are approaching that you click on CSL Redlands as your preferred place so that the center receives extra funds as you shop. Okay, one other quick thing. So next Sunday, I believe we're going to have a practitioner panel. So the licensed practitioners are going to be up in lieu of the message portion. So if you have questions about science of mind, about what is a practitioner, about what is prayer or treatment, please start writing those down now. And if you want to hand them in to Sonja or me after service, you can. We're going to do it in a spontaneous fashion. So for those people who are watching remotely, you can also send in your question via chat. All right, welcome to service, everybody. And now it's our centering music. Oh, no, is that right? Yes, it is our centering music.
In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release from a world filled with chaos and noise. I wake to these precious moments when I hear what could never be said, and right here in this holy silence I find peace. I find myself. In In the silence there's release from a world filled with chaos and noise. I awake to these precious moments when I hear what could never be said, and right here in this holy silence I find peace, I find joy, I find love, I find myself.
Thank you, Al. That was beautiful as usual. Hello again. Got a reading for you today. A couple readings, actually. We'll start with a Native American proverb. It says, "Seek wisdom, not knowledge. Knowledge is of the past. Wisdom is of the future." And here's one from Thomas More out of his book, Care of the Soul. "The homelessness we see on our streets is a reflection of a deeper homelessness we feel in our hearts. Homeless people embody a deprivation of soul which we all experience to the extent that we live in an inanimate world. We assume that our loneliness has to do with other people, but it also comes from our estrangement from a world that we have depersonalized by our philosophies. We assume that homelessness has to do with economics, when it is more the mirror of the society and culture that we have made." Here's one from a book called Secrets of Divine Love. "When we give from ourselves, we may run out of love, mercy, and compassion because we are finite. However, when we connect with Spirit and act as a conduit of its love, we will never run out of the passion to serve the creation. We can bring kindness and love to all people at all times by intentionally connecting our hearts with the divine and allowing the light to lead the way." I ask you to be still with me a moment and join me in our opening invocation. Knowing that there is this power, this presence, this source that is my supply, my sufficiency, that I choose to call God. You may choose to call it whatever it calls on you to call it. I know it is in me. I know I am unified with this power that I call God, and I know that you are. It is in me, it is in you. And in this knowing, in this truth, I proclaim the goodness, my goodness, your goodness, in this place, in this space, in this time where we gather as a community in love, spirit. We embody an ever-evolving greater good that is ever spiraling upward. Here in this place today, this power, this good that we embody, that we embrace, that we now know, opens up to the message to be delivered here today by Sonja Prince. This music from Al Yankee that flows and moves our spirit, elevates us higher and higher. Oh, how I am so grateful for the good. I bless this community. And let thy will be done. So be it.
When I'm worried and I can't sleep, I count my blessings instead of sheep. And I fall to sleep counting my blessings. When my bankroll is getting small, I remember when I had none at all. And I fall to sleep counting my blessings, remembering the kindnesses that came my way today. Reminds me it'll be alright and troubles melt away. So if you're worried and you can't sleep, just count your blessings instead of sheep, and you'll fall to sleep counting your blessings. When I'm worried and filled with dread, and it's obvious that I'm well fed, I sleep in a nice bed counting my blessings. When I'm thinking that life is rough, that times are tough, there's not enough, I look at all my stuff, count all my blessings. You know, it's kind of crazy, all the troubles that we make. So many of those thoughts we have are simply a mistake. So if you're worried, just let it be. Things will work out, it's guaranteed, 'cause you hold the key, counting your blessings.
Thank you, Al Yankee. Beautiful, beautiful, counting your blessings. How many of us do that in the mornings? So if you're not doing it now, I just invite you to wake up maybe an hour earlier and spend that time with Spirit. So today, last week, Eileen announced that it was Bring Your Cat to Church Sunday, or your kitten, so she brought a kitten. But I thought she said Bring Your Pumpkin to church, so I brought a pumpkin and it's back on the table. So anyway, good morning, everyone. A little humor never hurt anybody. Actually, it's good for the soul. Get that big belly laugh going. So all this month, we've been talking about finances and money, and have you got it yet? So there are some demonstrations that have happened, right? All right. All right, well, that's what we want. We want to be the demonstration. We come and teach these practical tools, and we want our lives to be the demonstration of that. So good, keep on demonstrating. So we've been talking about finances, and the first week, it was about swimming in the infinite ocean. And so I talked about we were like fish, And there was this one fish that was swimming in the ocean, but he was looking for it. He was looking for it. So he would stop and ask somebody, hey, where's this thing they call the ocean? And he finally found a wise person, and the wise person said, you're swimming in it. You're in it. So I just say that to say that we have this infinite source. I have a phone call coming in. And what did the Baptist preacher say? If that ain't God calling, hang up on him. So let me just make sure I get this thing out of my way. So the first week was swimming in the infinite ocean. And so what we found out is that that infinite ocean is all around us. This infinite source of spirit is all around us. So we're living in it. We're sitting in it right here and right now. And we just need to open ourselves up to it in order to recognize that. Raymond Charles Walker said that money is the action of God. And so in week 2, we talked about let it flow. And so I brought in a story about Bruce Lee that illustrated that as he was wanting a new master, and he was telling the master about all these great accomplishments he had achieved, and the master kept pouring the tea until the tea was rolling over on the table and then on the floor, because if we need to empty ourselves. And he told Bruce Lee, I can't put anything in because you're already full. So if we're already full with doubt, lack, limitation, how can we be open to this infinite source that God has to offer us? We have to open ourselves up. We can't put ourselves in this little container. I talked about a crucible. Where you put yourself in this little container and you're cut off. It's like a horse with blinders on. So that was week 2. And I said, in Matthew it says, ask and it shall be given unto you. And then Revelations 3rd chapter 20th verse says, behold, I stand and knock at the door. So spirit is knocking at the door because it's within us. So I'm not talking about separation. I'm talking about wakening up to what's already there, what's already within us. And then week 3 was playing with money. We began to play with money, and I brought up my Monopoly game, and I talked about we go around this board in our life, and we're living by chance. There was a chance card you pull in, and it says, oh my gosh, income tax. Pay the income tax, IRS, $200. And that's some things come on our path in our life that we're not expecting, but they pop up. But a victim lives by chance, and a master lives by choice. And I wanted you to know that we're always at choice. You're always at choice. And so it brings us to this week where he talked about money, so they say. And so a man who loved money, he loved money more than anything. And he was making his transition out, but he asked his wife, he said, honey, when I make my transition, would you give $1,000 and put it in my casket with me? And so she said, yes, I will do that for you, sweetheart. And so the time came when the man made his transition, and she went to the bank and she got the money and she put it in the casket with him. And the funeral director closed everything up. And her girlfriend sitting next to her said, did you put $1 million in the casket with him? And she said, yes, a promise is a promise. And she said, I can't believe you did that. And she said, I wrote him a check. I wrote him a check. So in ancient times, the pharaohs of Egypt, they were buried with all their riches. They thought they could take it with them. Just like this man in the story. He wanted to take this $1 million with him because he told his wife, well, I don't know what I'm going to encounter. I don't know what it's going to be like on the other side. So I want to make sure that I'm well stocked. I'm well prepared. I have enough money to survive. And like the pharaohs thought that if they are buried with all their riches, they would be going into the afterlife in style. So they were buried with all this stuff. not knowing that we were going to dig it up later. And that's what's happened. So when we talk about money, the text said that there's some myths that are surrounding this idea of money. And the first one is that the great spiritual teachers were poor. That was the first myth. And the second myth was that debt and loss, about debt and loss. And so what is debt and loss? So debt and loss is when we agree to pay for something over time. And we either have two types of consciousness. The first kind of consciousness is that the universe is infinite, and the truth is that the money is going to flow in so I can pay this thing that I have stretched out over time. And then the other consciousness is that we're waiting and praying and hoping that nothing happens so we can pay it. So there's either two consciousnesses that we live by. And so the third myth is shame and fitting in. And so if we were raised in a home, a school, or a church culture that carries guilt that surrounds money, then we might be carrying that with us. That might be the myth in our mind that money is bad, and that, there was something that said a rich man can't get between the eye of a needle. And there's all kinds of things surrounding money, taboo surrounding money. So that is the third myth about shame. But what I know from the first myth about those teachers is, our spiritual teachers, is they weren't in poverty. A lot of people think that Jesus was in poverty, but they said in the story of Jesus, when the mother and father was going to the inn and there was no room in the inn for Jesus to be born, you can't give them an affirmation and say, here's a room. So they had to have some money, right? In order to be let in the inn. If there were room, I'm trying to say if there was a room available, they would have had to pay for it. So they weren't living in lack and limitation or poverty. And then it also says that Jesus wore a seamless robe. Well, you don't get that if you're scraping together scraps and you're having somebody sew them together. And also, Jesus' ministry was funded by women. Women at that time this was their household. They controlled everything in their household. So Jesus by no means was poor. It said Jesus had a bookkeeper, which you don't have unless you have some money. And it says that, so Jesus could afford some things. The only time Jesus ever cursed anything is when he went by the fig tree and the fig tree didn't have any figs on it. So he cursed the fig tree to not bear fruit anymore. But otherwise, Jesus was not a poor man. And the Buddha, the spiritual teacher, the Buddha. So the Buddha was wealthy. He was born into wealth, but he rejected it. So he rejected wealth, and he rejected extreme poverty. And then Muhammad. Muhammad was a wealthy trader, and he married a rich widow. And then it also says Lao Tzu was a respected government official. Abraham, Jacob, Joseph, and Moses, they were all very well off. So this idea that as a spiritual leader, you have to be in poverty, and as us come in the world, we don't have to live in poverty. We don't have to live in lack. We don't have to live in limitation. And Charles Fillmore said, it's a sin to be poor. Because it says in the Bible that the Father wants to give you the kingdom, and the kingdom is within, out. So we need to go within. And so Catherine Ponder, she wrote all kinds of books about millionaires of the Bible. So I'm saying that we can have wealth, we can have affluence, we can have everything that we need. And Scott Aubrey, he writes this column, and Scott Aubrey tells us that there was a man that got an idea that he wanted to be happier in his life. So he got the idea to have gratitude, and to have gratitude more and more, and that way he would be happier. So he decided to stop and feel gratitude every time he found money. So anytime he found money on the street, he would pick it up and he would give thanks and feel gratitude for it. And then after he started doing that, he started finding, so he went to his old pants and he pulled out a pocket and there was money in it. So he felt gratitude for that, and he gave thanks for that. So as he began to do this and have gratitude every time he would find money on the street or wherever he would find it, then he started saying, hey, I have all this money that's showing up in my life. So he started to leave money in places. So he would go to a restaurant and he would leave a couple dollars under the menu. And he'd be walking down the street and he'd drop some money behind him and keep on going. So I'm saying this all because he says that as he began to feel gratitude, he began to get more and more. And the idea of this was not to get more money, but to live happier. And so he got what he wanted out of life, because as he began to give, he would receive. And so as we open up ourselves to more gratitude in life and give thanks for what we have, Al sang the song, what's the name of the song? I'm sorry, Al. Count your blessings. Every time you find money in your pocket, count your blessings and give thanks for it. Have some gratitude for that. Anytime I was walking, I got my hair done. Anyway, I was walking from the salon and I had to go to my car, and there was money all over the parking lot. So I picked it up. And I didn't count it right away, but it was like 10s and 20s and 1s and 5s. So I picked it up and I took it back in the salon. And I said, hey, ladies, I just found all this money. And one of the hairdressers said, it's mine. And I said, I don't know, I need to sit with it for a minute. So I sat with that idea of finding money, and we've been sitting in this salon, and she said, don't you remember I went to my car? And I said, I do remember that. So I gave it to her. And then as she was walking me out after she did my hair, we came upon, there were some workers, and they were painting the building. And he was looking around like he had lost something. And she and I were together. And he was just kind of, he had that look. I'm going to be in trouble. I've lost something. And so we asked him, what's the matter? Did you lose something? He said, yes, I had some money in my pocket. It must have fallen out. So we gave thanks and we gave gratitude that we found it. I found it, gave it to her, but as we walked out, came upon this man, and we were able to give him what he had lost, which was a blessing to him. And so just have gratitude. I'm saying all this to say is have gratitude for the things that you have already, and when you find money, they say, just thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, life. Because it shows that you are abundant. And so what do we know about money? Money is a form of divine energy. We don't need to feel ashamed about it. We just need to give thanks for it and have gratitude for it. And so as we bring our mindset and our attention to it, it will blossom for us. We have to create a relationship with money. And I talked about last week, don't be like me or how I was in the past, where I would have checks that I would forget to take to the bank. And 3 years later, here I am calling the people saying, can you write a new check? I forgot to cash this one. And they're like, yeah, lady, we'll do that. Just wait for it. And then it never shows up. So make sure you have a relationship with money and you don't let those fears and things that you may have grown up hearing about money taint your relationship. Money will blossom in your relationship as you give it, love it, and give it attention. And we're not talking about money is the root of all evil and all that stuff like that. It says the love of money is the root of all evil. But we changed that last week. I changed that last week and said, you better love it. It's an energy. It's an energy source. It's God in action. So if you're not loving what you have and being grateful and thankful for what you have, it might leave you. It's a relationship. And we don't want our relationships to leave us, right? Unless it's a bad relationship. But I don't know about you, but my relationship with money, if I can go to the store and buy what I need and buy what I want, that's a good relationship. And I want to continue that. So I'm going to practice gratitude in my life for all that I have and for the money that I have. So the opportunity is right where we are. That's where the opportunity lies. Not tomorrow, not in the past, but right here and right now. And so we need to know the truth. The great truth of reality is that this world is affluent, that God is affluent. We can have it all by letting go of fear, letting go of doubt, letting go of those things that we were told, letting go. If all you had to do, people say, if you knew that today you had no more worries about money, what would you do? And a lot of us don't know. So a friend of mine, we played this money game where we would give ourselves $1,000 a day, and every day we doubled it, and we would have to spend the whole thing. So the first day we had the $1,000, that was easy. Second day we had $2,000, that was pretty easy too. Now with the internet, we can shop online. So like Brother Mark said, don't wait for the holidays to shop at Amazon and give back to CSL Redlands. Shop every day. Shop when you need to shop. So it was easy. I just pull up the website and all those things that I've been wanting, I just wrote them down. Paid for them. And you couldn't leave any money left over. So you had to spend all of it. So guess what happened on the 30th day? Still pretty easy. Still pretty easy for me. I have a book with stuff in it. I got a yacht, there's a camper, there's 2 Harley Davidsons, one for him and one for her. I mean, I could shop. So, and it feels good, doesn't it? It feels good. Don't you want to be feeling good every day? So it's just that idea that, I'm not going to tell you about the time when there was packages from Amazon showing up at the door and I would just stick them in the closet. And then I would be wearing some new shoes and Daryl would say, where'd those shoes come from? I already had these. He said, yeah, you already had them in the closet waiting to wear them. But it feels good to have the ability to buy what you want and buy what you need. It feels good. So develop a relationship with money. And it's just a mindset. We always say change your thinking, change your life. So just develop a relationship, just like you would cultivate any other relationship. Daryl said last week if Raymond Charles Barker, he took money out of his wallet and he was kissing the dollar bills and people were like, oh, he's not spiritual at all. But you wouldn't think the same thing if he picked up his grandchild and you started kissing your grandchild and saying, I love you, I love you, I love you. So we have to treat money just like we treat anything else. It is spiritual. It is spiritual. And I was listening to this Reverend Ike, and they were quizzing him about, you teach money, you teach about money. Why do you tell those people that they can have whatever they want? He said, isn't money the root of all evil? And he said, the lack of money is the root of all evil. You don't see millionaires going out there committing crime. But you see the people that don't have it committing crimes. So we need to be teaching poverty consciousness. Get rid of that. We need to be teaching affluence. You can have anything that you want. Just let go of your fears and your doubts. Tap into that part of yourself that is that God self, and live from that place. Live from the inside out. David, you have a few slides? So the thing to do is not to try to unify with people, but with the principle of life behind all people and all things. This is working from the center and not the circumference. We don't work from outside in. We work from inside out. We see all people as God expressing. That's how we see all people. Unify, unity, affluence, faith, trust. So we need to go within. Ernest Holmes said that he found God in the silence, going within. And then when we can go within and we can see all the people and things from within, then we know that there's no separation, there's no lack. We love people because we love ourselves. And so we say, I see the face of God as I look in each and every person's eyes. And that's where we need to come from. As a practitioner, and Reverend Mark will probably go over this next week, we know the truth for people before they can know it for themselves. We hold the high watch for people, for things, for whatever you need in your life. If you can't see it for yourself, let us see it for you. Let us hold that idea and that vision for you. And then the next slide. If we have not resolved the money enigma, you quickly lose a lofty awareness the moment you dip into your wallet. Think about that for a minute. So if you're not coming from the center outward, every time you dip into your wallet, it's like, I got to spend. And so what I said last week is it's not about spending. We stopped saying we're going to spend money, but we're going to circulate money. We're going to circulate it. So I remember that Jerry Hicks was talking about any time that he had to buy something. You know, Jerry and Esther, they do the Abraham. So Jerry Hicks was saying that every time he wanted to buy something, he had this old nagging thing about, that what he had learned about money as he was growing up. And then he began to learn the principles of life and the principles of spirit. And he started saying, no, I don't need to be ashamed about it. I'm not going to spend it. I'm going to circulate it, because as I circulate it, then other people benefit from it. If I want to buy that Cadillac, the dealer gets paid, and the people on the assembly line that put it together get paid, and the people who made the parts get paid, and the people who, and on and on and on. So we circulate. We don't spend it, because if we spend it, we're sending it away. We circulate it. The next one, please. Know yourself as you are in God, thereby ceasing the incorrect knowledge of yourself as mere man or mere woman. This redefinition is essential for your health, your wealth, your love, and your self-expression. And Al sang that in his first song, Joy. He talked about joy. Mm-hmm. He talked about love. You're not merely anything. You're not merely anything. You are these beautiful, divine emanations of God, get that. If you don't get anything else, if you can't walk out the door and say, what did she talk about? Get that you are a divine emanation of God, of spirit, whatever you choose to call it. You are one with it. You are the way it gets to be expressed. God, spirit, the universe does not have a personality. You are the personality. You are how it gets expressed in this world. You, me, us, we. Next slide, David. So the key to wealth is learning how to take charge of your mind, learning how to process your mind with affirmations, studying and releasing yourself from the major inhibitor, that word, of mind, and learning to better use your imagination. Said most simply, increasing your wealth is a matter of increasing the quality of your thoughts. Increase the quality of your thoughts. And if you can't do that, watch something. I was watching this thing the other day, and it was talking about, it had this beautiful watch, and the watch was really all encrusted with diamonds. Made me feel good. So if you can't imagine it for yourself, watch something. Because we say that the feeling gets the healing. And I know this is all jargon, but we say that. And then we say you have to have the mental equivalence of something. We keep saying that it is an energy. It is a vibration. It is a frequency. So get into the frequency of it, and you may have it. So when I need to imagine something that I can't seem to sit down and imagine it for myself, there's a YouTube channel, and I can watch it. And I don't envy it, but I feel good about it. I can celebrate what I see. I can celebrate the idea and the possibility. I can celebrate what the people that I'm watching have in their life. So it's not about envy. It's about joy, peace, laughter, faith, and trust. And you can trust that this universe has everything we need in it. Just like in the Bible, the Garden of Eden had everything in it. Well, what a wonderful world. We have everything we need. So tune in, tap in, and turn on to that part of you that is spirit, that invisible part of you, and make it visible. Be the demonstration of God in this world, in your relationships, in your finances, in your health, in your wellness, in everything. And remember, just like the gentleman was doing, give back. Give back to the places where you're fed, where you're spiritually fed. If you're spiritually fed at CSL Redlands, give back to CSL Redlands. If you're spiritually fed, or if you're fed with that charity that's near and dear to your heart, then give to that charity. But give, because there's a circle. We say this, they say the circle of life, but there's circulation in the world. So as we give, and we say that when we do the offering, be bigger and bolder givers so we can be bigger and bolder receivers. And that's not the mission, but the mission is the relationship, the inside relationship. So if we do nothing else, get that relationship blossoming, and you will see the demonstration in your life. And so I am complete. Thank you.
I used to go to God and beg me, God, why me, oh God, why? And then I'd hang my head and cry. No one could hear me, no one could hear me. It's like combing the mirror instead of your hair. God is you while you're looking up there. Go within and watch the outside change. If you want to change your life, you got to change your mind. You got the power inside. The law will reflect what you say. The universe is rolling that way. Rolling that way. I thought I wasn't good enough, and God was trying to make it tough on me, just to teach me to be strong. I thought to get near him, I had to fear him, until I learned that everything was already given to me. And with the faith of a mustard seed, I could create it and demonstrate it. It's like combing the mirror instead of your hair. God is you while you're looking up there. Go inside and watch it change. If you want to change your life, you got to change your mind. You got the power inside. The law will reflect what you say. The universe be rolling that way. You got to change that stinking thinking. Change that stinking thinking. From time to time, something sticks in my mind. Just change that stinking thinking. Can you do that with me? Change that stinking thinking. You can do it with me. Change that stinking thinking. From time to time, something sticks in my mind. You change that stinking thinking. Change that stinking thinking. Change that stinking thinking. Change that stinking thinking. Change that stinking thinking.
So what do we have to do, Al? We have to change our
Stinking thinking.
stinking thinking. Ooh. All right, now it's time for our conscious giving. So I invite you to consider that the same portal from which you give from is indeed the same portal from which we receive. So let's expand to become bigger and bolder givers so we can be bigger and bolder receivers. So join me in placing your tithe and offering over your heart and affirm it's with me, and it's on the screen. We say it together. Begin. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal, bless, and prosper. It is evidence of my faith and my belief. It does great work in the world and returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is.
Thank you for giving. Thank you for receiving. And thank you for being who you are. Thank you for breathing. Thank you for believing. And thank you for being who you are. The universe is flowing with love that's ever growing, and you are a vessel of that love. So thank you for caring, and bless you for your sharing, and thank you for being who you are. Thank you for being who you are.
if you would extend your hands to me up front to the. I bless these tithes and gifts and offerings, knowing that they are sufficient to cover the needs of CSL Redlands, which is a successful idea in the mind of God. How good it is to speak this word and know this truth now. And together we affirm it by saying, and so it is. So this is the affirmation from today's talk. If we can say it together, please. I free my mind to be an open conduit of good. Let's say it again. I only heard Ellen. I free my mind to be an open conduit of good. You know, Emma Curtis Hopkins said, there is good in the universe and I ought to have it. So that's the change. That's how we need to change our thinking. Oh, man. So, Al, if you could give us a little bit of some beautiful music, and I will close the service, and then we'll get your closing song after that. So, everyone, just go within. Just feel right within your body, right within that middle part of you where we know that God resides right there. That invisible presence always knocking at the door of your consciousness, saying, open the door, allow me in, which only means recognizing that presence and that power. Let's dine together. Let's dine together. And so letting go of all the cares and concerns of this day. Everything, letting go, everything you need to do when you leave here and just be right here in this present moment. Because there is no tomorrow. There's only now. And so trusting and knowing that there's only one power and one presence. And it lives, moves, and has its being in and through each and every person here. And so we open up to it and connect with it. And so we've been talking about abundance and finances today, and we just extend that to joy, peace, love, divine right relationships, protection. Because that is what this divine presence offers us. And so, like I said, Ernest Holmes said he found God within him. He found it in the silence. And not only did he find spirit, God, whatever you choose to call it, but he found himself. And that's what we need to tap into and tune into, is our God self. And live from a place of knowing, live from a place of truth, the truth of who we are. And so I bless this time that we spend together. I just bless it. And I bless each and every person at the sound of my voice. I bless the people online. And I bless you right here, right now. You are magnificent. And so, like I said, if you take nothing else with you today, take that you are this beautiful, beloved, divine emanation of God, of Spirit. You're not merely man, woman, or whatever your gender expression is. I don't care. But what I do care about is that you know the truth of who you are. And you start living from that place and be the demonstration. Gandhi said, be the change that I want to see in the world. Be the change that you want to see in your world, and then allow that to radiate out and send it forth. We pray for our ladies next door that they find their footing and they're able to be self-sufficient. We are cultivating this peace and this love, and we are allowing them to be right where they are right now, knowing that there are better times to come, better days ahead of them. And so we live in gratitude. We're grateful for them because they allow us to tap into that God's part of us that Joe talked about in the reading today. Change our own thinking behind this idea of homelessness. Joe goes out on Saturdays and he takes sandwiches and chips and fruit cups and whatever he takes in the little bags, and he passed those out. And yesterday I witnessed this guy came up and he was looking for someone, and Joe had already packed his car, and he said to the guy, "Do you need anything?" And the guy said, "Would you like to have a sandwich, some lunch?" And the guy said, "Yes, please." So even though Joe had his idea where he was going to go and drop these off, he had the compassion and the love for humanity to give right where he was. And then Glenn helped him distribute the sandwiches out to the community. So we give thanks for that. And so we're grateful that we can stand here, we can come to the center, we can go wherever we have to go, and there's no threat of war on us in our life. But we know that over across in the Ukraine, they're struggling right now. Winter is upon them, and some of them have been displaced out of their homes. And there are little children that need coats and hats and gloves and scarves. So we extend this prayer to them today, knowing that whatever needs to come into their surroundings to provide this for them, that they have it. And CSL Redlands, we are doing our part also. Brother Mark is on the prayer call, the Prayer for Peace call daily, probably twice a day. And I jump on the calls when I can because I have classes and Zooms and all kinds of stuff. But we've been holding this space for the Ukraine. So we continue to do that. So we are grateful that we can live this free life here. And we don't have to worry about a bomb coming close to our borders or anything like that. So we need to just live from the inside out and send love and peace over to our practitioners and the people of the Ukraine, and send love right here in your community. So giving thanks for it all. We know that God is right here, right now. Right here, right now. In all, as all, in every situation. So we just cultivate peace, and we send love, and we send peace, and we allow that to radiate like throwing a stone in the water and it ripples. We start right where we are, right here and right now. And so it is.
I used to think I'd always be alone, separate, misunderstood. I spent my days in quiet desperation, but on the outside, things looked good. Then I discovered the error of my thinking, the lie at the base of all my fears. It was so simple that it turned my world around. Oh, why did it take so many years? Now I I am knowing with my mind wide open. I am loving with my heart wide open. I am walking with my eyes wide open. I am walking with my eyes wide open. I am knowing with my mind wide open. I am loving with my heart wide open. I am walking with my eyes wide open, wide open. There is no separation, no matter what it looks like. There is no separation, no matter what they say. No separation except what I imagine. And I imagine separation's gone away. Now I am walking with my eyes wide open. I am knowing with my mind wide open. I am loving with my heart wide open. I am walking with my eyes wide open. I am walking with my eyes wide open. I am knowing with my mind wide open. I am loving with my heart wide open. I am walking with my eyes wide open. One more time. I am walking with my eyes wide open. I am knowing with my mind wide open. I am loving with my heart